Yay, all right. Oh no, it's doing it again. I've forgotten to stop that doing that. All right, well, welcome everybody. Here we are again, another Wednesday. It's now the 14th of December. Goodness gracious me, here we go. Hey, Libby.
Hi, sister.
So welcome everyone to Justice Radio Network and Stories from the Heart, 14th of December 2016. And wow, goodness, we're only a couple of weeks or so into till we get to 2017. So wow, time is motoring on along, isn't it?
It's flown by this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
It only feels like, well, yesterday that I was here, I mean, I don't hardly feel like I've left at this point, even though I've been gone for 7 months and I've been back here, a couple of weeks. It's like amazing to think that, I had that whole beautiful summer experience and now I'm back here where I was, well, I left here in the end of April. I keep saying last year when I'm talking about, when we're at the barn and we're doing this, and I say, well, last year I did this. I'm thinking it wasn't last year; it was just a few months ago. I mean, like by January, I can say last year again, but Yeah, so it's quite amazing, isn't it, how time is moving along so swiftly. But yeah, it is what it is, and it's a case of doing the best we can with what we've got, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting a bit used to back in the groove of working longish days and the heat and all of that. And I know won't be grumbling about the heat, but like
Uh-uh.
when it's humid, it's very difficult to work in. The heat's not the problem; it's the humidity. But I'm getting more used to it, and hopefully we'll get some time it's not so hot and humid. But I think you've got the opposite there, Libby.
Oh, we've got a -17 scheduled for tomorrow night.
Right, and that's about 0 Fahrenheit for those that don't understand centigrade, as far as my calculations go, if I remember rightly. Anyway, because I always had to convert to centigrade when I was in New York, and it always came over as Fahrenheit, and I'd be like, wait, so that's 32 is freezing, so 22 is 10 below freezing, and it would like completely confuse me. I could deal with plus this, that, and the other, but for me,
It's cold. I'll just say
yes,
it's
it's cold.
freezing.
It's
Not
very cold.
not fun to work
My
in.
friend from Florida at that time, when I was always there, and I'd say, it's this and it's that and it's zero and blah blah blah, and she'd be like, well, surely once it's cold, it's cold. I'm like, no, there's cold and there's flicking freezing, right? And -17 centigrade, which is pretty much 0 Fahrenheit, is very very cold.
It is.
Yes, yeah,
So
it kind
I'm
of
very
the
glad to
knuckles off.
be in a house with power and hot running water and wool. I had a little bit of Renault syndrome in my fingers this morning, and I started crocheting again, and that wool just warmed up. Like, it's wonderful. I'm so grateful for crocheting and for wool.
Yes, indeed. I've got a bit of a noise going on outside here. There's a blower, I think. But yes, so if it's annoying, you'll have to do some talking. But yeah, I think this whole thing of being creative is what keeps us going. And I've said that before, is that what it's something that if we do that, that's another thing that energy doesn't get sapped off us so quickly and easily, because the creativity and then the fun and the humor and the dancing that you've been doing, stuff like that, joy, and even though when I'm working hard, I'm seeing and I'm feeling that everyone's doing a good job, everyone's doing the best they can, everyone is being creative in an aspect sort of way, even though we're not literally creating an article, we're accomplishing what we're
Well,
set out to do.
you're creating energies,
That's
and
true, we
and
are.
and everybody has these energies, these fields, right? So
That's right, and
you
especially
create
around the
fun.
horses.
Yeah, and we know I certainly learned this summer working up
Yes,
your energies. And so, yeah, it's like a dance of its own. It's
that's
wonderful
right.
for everybody.
When you've got a team working, which we have, we're 4 people and 9 horses, and we have to. It is a dance throughout the day. We haven't got a lot of space. All the horses have got a stall each, and then we've got 2 little paddocks. And then beyond that, there's an arena that they can work in, and horses can go out trail riding on the roads around the area, which is quiet. There's dirt roads, you can go around a few little trails. But it's a case of getting them out enough that they all are in the stalls in the morning, and we get a couple out in the 2 little fields, and then we clean out the stalls, and then we get the others out, 1 by 1, 2 by 2, and then we get more turn. We bring the ones in from the field, we put 2 more in the field, and Martha will ride one and whatever. So it's a case of getting everybody out of the stall as much as possible, because that's very important for horses. So yeah, and it's an interaction between all of us, the 4 of us, as to how we do it. And we're only, like I say, 10 days, 11 days in, and we're doing a really good job between the 4 of us. We're a really good team, and I've only, I knew the guy from last year, and I knew Martha from last year. Obviously, there's a young girl helping us now, and she is absolutely awesome, beautiful young being, really on the job, on the ball, working hard, not overly, but beautifully willing and capable, and everyone just gets on with it. Nobody's lazy. It's often when you've got a lazy one, you've got to chase them up. We haven't got that. So it's really cool. And again, that's the whole thing of bringing in that good stuff, those good people towards ourselves. We're all doing our best, and we've only got people around ourselves doing their best. And that's a really cool thing to acknowledge, that again it's continuing that whole idea that you get back what you put out. And if you're a little bit lazy or a little bit this yourself, you're going to get more of that. And we're not getting any of that, and we get the job done. We get it done really well, and I even have time to sit down during the day and say, look, I'm going to take a little break now, have my lunch, and take a little break and breathe for a minute and not be rushing around all day, which I've had to do in the past. So yeah, it's working out really nicely. So I'm encouraged that we can keep on keeping on like this, and yeah, I think we'll keep going and it'll all work out just great, and I'll survive the next 4 months really well, happily. So yep, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, glad to.
We did have a nice little chat with Stone Crow from Little Deer days, but his mic and video don't work well together. It's low bandwidth. But if there's anyone else that wants to join in and share a story with us at any point, now or later, just jump in, and then we just mute. Everybody stays mute while you tell us your story. So is there anyone that does want to share a story or say hi or add to the conversation at this moment? Jump on in.
Yep, we're here for any of that, and I'm sure there's a lot of people are kind of keeping busy at this time of year. I know that most of us that kind of join this show are not really into Christmas as such, but there's a lot of people that are connected family members that are kind of doing that sort of stuff. So I think even if we don't participate in Christmas as such, people are kind of busy. And for me, I'm able to volunteer to work the Christmas Day thing here. The girl, she's going to be able to go home for a couple of days for Christmas, which is really nice. And so I'm more than happy to hold the fort for the time being. I'm sure I'll get some help as well, but it's nice to be able to offer that I'm not kind of like, oh, I've got to be somewhere for Christmas. I mean, I don't really, and with no family around, they're going to be like, where are you? And now with my dear old mum passed on, she would be the only one that would really actually worry about where I was and what I was doing at Christmas. So now my family, my sisters and my brother, like, what you're doing sort of thing. But they're not going to be like, oh, you poor thing, you're not here doing this and that. They know that I'm all right. So, so yeah, it's nice not to be kind of like, I actually tell a few porkies about Christmas. I'd say, oh yes, I'm going to so-and-so for Christmas dinner. And I the last few years, I didn't even bother. People would invite me and I wouldn't even bother to go because I couldn't, but yeah, it's kind of like, nice to be able to just, I mean, every day is like the same with Thanksgiving, right? Every day is a day to give thanks. So it's more kind of honest, I think, for us to appreciate every day and not have to specifically say, oh, today's such and such a day, so we all have to do this and that. We take our days off. We have quiet times and that sort of thing. It doesn't have to be one specific day that everybody else is doing it. I mean, if you want to do that, it's all well and good. But if you are happy enough, just enjoying yourself.
To not do it too. I mean, people do gather.
Mm-hmm.
To gather, people meet, friends come back to town to see their families.
Sure.
So it's something people do. I would prefer to be in a cave, thank you very much. Anywhere else on Christmas Day, but if I was near my grandchildren.
Right, exactly, you would be.
Well, it turns out that the, Rosh Hashanah, the one that falls on the same time as
oh, right.
Is happening right on Christmas Eve. So
right.
My grandchildren celebrate both. You think it's overkill? I think,
yeah.
Oh, Hanukkah, that's it,
Hanukkah. There you go.
So it's even easier for me to just go, no, too much of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah. It gets to be, yes, too much is too much. I mean, you can get too much of stuff like that. So actually, I sent an email to one of my sisters just about something else. And I thought, oh, I might as well just, say, Merry Christmas sort of thing while I was at it. And so I dug up my little poem called Merry. So I'm going to share that with you guys now, just for the crack of it. Yeah, I wrote this one back in 2011. I was there. I was at the farm where I used to be, and I was there all alone on Christmas Day. And I was having a lovely day. I was looking after the horses all on my own, and I was going. I was happy as Larry. It's a lovely sunny day. It was cold, but it was lovely and sunny and blue sky, and I was having a happy day. And I had myself a little glass of sherry, because that's sort of like a thing that kind of comes from the days of old when I would hang out with my family for Christmas, and sherry was something that was always part of Christmas. So I'd bought a little bottle of sherry, and I had my little bottle of my little glass of sherry. So anyway, this is what came. So I called this Merry. Something just occurred to me. It made me check my dictionary for the definition of a word that at Christmas is often heard. Every Christmas we send our wish. So I asked my dictionary of current English what it is to be merry. What does it mean? And what kinds of insight from this could I glean? Cheerful and lively and full of fun and slightly drunk. Is that someone? Who is this merry thing? Sounds good to me. Seems like a way to become happy and free. Get slightly drunk and then become merry. What a great reason for a glass of sherry. Let's do this merry thing all the year long. Eat, drink and be merry is a wonderful song. Sing it with me, let's be happy and free. Let's spend our days being merry and full of glee. Let's count our blessings and love what we do, and make every moment exciting and new. Eat, drink, be merry, sing it with me. I am so happy and I am so free. Every day is a gift and a joy to behold. Each experience in life can turn into gold. I had some sherry and look what happened to me. I am so merry and jam-packed with glee. Sing it with me all the year long. Make, eat, drink and be merry your favourite song. So there you go. I was having a jolly merry time.
I can see there's a little bit of a Jolly Mary in there. Woo!
Yeah, it was quite fun actually when I wrote that one down. So yeah, I enjoyed myself that day. Yeah, and like you don't have to have loads of other people around you to be jolly. So that was me that day, jolly as anything, merry and a little bit drunk or whatever. I don't think I even was. I was obviously like feeling good, but yeah, you see, so we can feel good if we choose to feel good. We feel good. Like you were talking about the smile,
Yeah.
right? If you're feeling that, you say, if I smile, I might feel better. Oh, yes, I do. Goody.
So easy, and yet there's a part of many of us that wants to be upset.
Yeah.
You can go. I mean, I find myself going into discussions where it's an energy that I don't want to be around, and yet I'm also participating in it. And then I think, no, let's just change this. Let's switch to here, or let's just go back and crochet. So, and when I do crochet, I do Ho'oponopono, I do all these things that bring me into a good space, because that's where I want to be.
Yes.
And I was just like saying, at night when I go to bed now, I put myself into a healing chamber, and I
Nice.
speak to an angel, and I wake up, and I'm still often surprised that I'm still in these conditions, but I think, okay, well, you must have to go a little longer, and and I get through. It's so different from what my life was.
Sure.
And yet I have so much less, therefore so much less concerns about losing anything, because it's
Right.
all gone.
Yeah.
And,
All that stuff.
It's been gone. A lot of it has come back into smaller equivalents of what I once had.
Nice.
It's okay. It's okay. It's doable. But I'm also feeling that soon I won't have to be putting myself in a healing chamber. It's just going to be it is already all around me. I just have to recognize it's just around me all the time. Like
Right.
It's around every place. Ooh, somebody might be wanting to say something. I'm having, okay. Did you want to share something, sister?
Hard time hearing us. Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Were you hearing me okay, huh?
I can hear you perfectly. Yes, absolutely. And you can hear me.
I can hear you, Jolly, but Libby's coming in very, very low.
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason. But I can hear you very well, but I can't hear Libby that well because it seems like I don't know whether it's the mic placement or what.
Interesting.
Yeah. I have a question about Cynthia.
Oh.
Okay, so I missed what was said last week about her situation and so forth and so on, as far as where she is. You look puzzled.
I was just looking to mute someone because there was noise coming in.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, it's the background noise in.
Might be coming from here.
Okay.
Maybe why you can't hear me either.
I can hear you when you came in closer.
Oh, came in closer.
And she's got a mic on her headset too. So.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyways,
okay. Carry on. Yes.
Oh, about Cynthia, her situation?
Oh, right. Yes. The situation is that unless they raise $6,000 by 1st of January, they're going to be homeless. They've got up to something over 1,000 at this point. The last time I was looking at the crowdfunding site, I could actually go to it now if I scroll down a bit. But yes, that's the situation with her at the moment. So anyone that can donate, that would be gratefully received.
Is she in the States or?
Yes, Maryland.
Oh, okay. So if you message me her info,
okay,
I can do a little something. The reason why I'm asking is because I tried to contact her.
Okay.
I went on her site and I tried to contact her to get some information and stuff like that. So I hadn't heard anything.
I tell you why. Because she just messaged me via one of my websites because she has not been able to get into her email lately.
Okay.
So that's what's happened. But I'm going to put into this chat now the link to the crowdfunding. The crowdfunding site. Yeah, there it is, crowdrise.com. If you go to that site, you can donate using a card there. If you would prefer to do it another way, I could get you in contact with her and you could maybe send something because CrowdRise do charge quite a high percentage.
I'd rather send it then.
Directly to her. Yeah.
Right.
So I will get to you privately an address or whatever that you could send like a money order or money or whatever you felt like. So I will find that, sometime after the show. Directly. They're on 1325 at the moment and the goal is 6,000. So, they're struggling. I don't know whether
we've got a ways to go.
They've got a way to go. I don't know whether it's actually Cynthia's mother who is the owner of the house and is not being all that kind of generous in time. So I don't know if they give her the 13 or 1400, whatever she ends up with, whether they'll be able to keep going for a little while longer or what. Whether we can all keep donating. But anyway, either way, I will certainly send you some contact information so that you can send something. That's really nice of you. Thank you, Lotus.
Well, yeah, I had to wait for things to get situated.
Sure. I understand. Yeah. Taking you a while to get yourself, So absolutely. So that's good. Well, thanks for that. And then as regarding your attempting to contact her, that is why you've had trouble, because she let me know that her 8.his email has not been functioning. She hasn't been able to get into it. So I don't know whether that's going to be sorted out soon, but I will let her know that you had been trying to contact her.
Yeah, because I wanted to start getting some information and stuff like that.
Great.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. And she'd be probably very happy to share that with you. So I will let her know that, and I'll ask her how you could contact her. Like maybe I could give you her number or an alternative email, whatever she's got. So yeah,
okay,
I'll
that
find
would
that
be
out for you.
awesome. All right,
Absolutely.
thank you.
No problem at all.
But I'm tired of being in limbo here.
I know what you mean. Limbo's not good. And I've been struggling to find time to do any of my reading and stuff on a lot of this stuff, like the status correction and state extraction, all of that. Like when I get home at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I'll do a bit of that now. And I start reading, I'm like, I'm not taking any of this in. So, yeah, definitely.
Okay, all right, great,
So,
thank you.
all right. Thanks, Lotus. That's, we'll keep on top of that. But yeah, cool.
And yeah, and I just want to add thank you, Lotus, and to anybody who can help Cynthia.
Absolutely. That link is in the chat for those that are on the Zoom room. Those that are not, that are on the phone, you can easily go to justiceradionetwork.net and scroll down as far as the show, which was the 23rd of November. Everything to do with Cynthia is on that link, 23rd of November 2016. That's on justiceradionetwork.net. Yeah, you can find all the information. You can find the crowdfund link. You can also find her Etsy shop, her stuff that she creates and shares, on her website, willandtestamenttraining.wordpress.com. That's all there. So yeah, just so we can reiterate that information is available there. Yeah, so that's good to get that mentioned. Cynthia's such a beautiful soul, working on herself as well as on her home, and same as all of us, we've all got situations to kind of deal with to get ourselves situated in a way we want to be. That's kind of a good large part of why I'm here, is to help myself continue my creative vision, to get myself situated in my heart song. So, but thankfully on my way I can help out, and as I was saying, the team is really good here, and without me they'd have to find somebody else, and I don't know whether the team would have worked so well with somebody else. So yeah, it's great, and it's nice to appreciate each other. And there's also another team working beside us, another training barn, which are sharing the barn we're in. I actually took a little video, little snapshot, which I'm going to share at some point. I'll post a link in the Skype room. Just a short look. I'm sitting there having my little rest, and I thought, I was looking around, the farrier was there today. And so between the farrier, there's two guys doing the farrier work, and there was them, and then there was the girl that works with us, she was cleaning some tack, and she had a horse she was getting ready, and then there was the guy that works with us was grooming a horse, and then Martha was outside riding, and so was Callan. And so I kind of did a short little, I don't know, it was even 5 minutes video, just sort of like, this is what I'm looking at in most of my days. The farrier's not there every day, but just thought it might be interesting for those that haven't got sort of could even start to imagine where I am and what I'm doing. And I'll try at some point to take a video I did last year of the showgrounds. I actually was taking one of the horses for a walk around the showgrounds. It was a quiet day. It was a Monday, I think. It's just it's sort of a thing that one probably couldn't just imagine without being there, if you haven't been into horses and competition, horse shows and that sort of thing. It's quite a sight to behold, actually, what has been created here. And if you go around and you see all the $1 million plus horse farms, buildings, the barns that the horses live in, I mean, are magnificent. I mean, you'd see the building, you'd think, what's that mansion? And it's a barn for horses. It's many of them. I mean, like many. It keeps expanding every year. But it is interesting to see, and I talk about, I'm here with horses, I'm doing this and that, and I suddenly thought, yeah, nobody's got a clue what I'm talking about, really. And so I took that little video today, which I thought it was actually quite good. So I will post that up later, just to give people an idea, and then I'll have to introduce you to all the horses at some point. I've got two. We kind of tend to take horses to specifically look after. So I've got two, because I do kind of quite a bit of other kind of organising. And then the girl Ash has three. Two of them are her own horses, and then she takes one of the other mares to look after. And then Oscar's got 4 horses to look after, so that's the 9. And it's nice to, and I actually have got the 2 that I like the best. I like them all, but these 2 I particularly like. And one of them's Martha's own horse, Killy. So he's a bit of the favourite for everyone. But yeah, and there's another one that's coming. He's a little bit kind of lost and he needs a friend. So I'm being his friend. And it's nice to get to know them and be their keeper. And I gave them both baths this afternoon, so that they got all the sweat off them and all of that. And it was it's very nice to be around them and get to know them, because every single one is different. That's the thing. I mean, you got a chance to learn that, Libby. Was there 3 that you were caring for? Yeah,
and each one was different, and they were different with different people. It was really quite a beautiful learning for me. And I know that I would like to continue doing that kind of work sometime down the road, because they're just such magnificent creatures.
they are. Yeah. And it depends on where they've been before, and whether they trust you, whether they've got past experiences that they're afraid of certain things, or they don't trust you to do certain things. And so you really have to take every single one. Like, we've got 9 and there's only 4 of them there that I know from last time. So there's five beings there that I'm having to get to know. And so that's cool. And having been around horses pretty much all my life, and having had to get to know a lot of horses along the way, because back in Ireland we had new horses coming all the time. They would come and they would go, because it was like a sales barn. So I kind of have a way of being able to comprehend horses quite quickly and understand them, who they are and what their needs are and what is frightening to them and what's not. And they're all, just because of their experiences, you can treat them all in different ways, because they react in different ways due to their experiences. So that can be it's a very interesting way. That I think it's the same with all animals and humans, of course, alike, that every being is different, so when everyone's different, you can't treat everyone the same. So it's just the same with the horses. So it's a very interesting world and life. And like I say, some of the days are tough. At the moment it's relatively easy because there's no competitions on at the moment, so it's just a case of keeping everybody happy and healthy, and keeping them fit and get them fitter if they need that, and that sort of thing. So it's just an interesting, especially getting to know the new ones. I'm enjoying that. So that's where I'm at. I don't think I've got any stories, because I haven't really been doing anything except go to work every day. I had a lovely Saturday off last week. I took it easy. I took it slowly. I went and bought a few things at the local Trader Joe's, and then I came home and I sat and watched a couple of videos, a couple of movies and stuff like that, just to kind of I don't have to do anything today, so I'm really not going to. So that was cool. It was a nice day, actually, because it didn't go by too quickly, which was great. Sometimes those days are gone in a flash. You're like, flipping that, where did that day go? But it was great. I really enjoyed myself, and my little family here, and their mum and dad were away, so the 2 dogs and the 3 cats were here, and they were great company. I had them in here with me most of the time, so that was fun. They're always good little family members, so I really enjoyed hanging out with them. So it's been just a lot of me and animals lately, and people, of course. So and all, like I say, all good. No complaints, except for the humidity. I think that's my only complaint. Learning to survive it. So all is well in my little world, as I can say, as best I can. I happy enough with where I'm at. So I will continue to do the best I can with what I've got and enjoy every moment of now, right? So yeah, I don't know what else.
Is to enjoy every moment of now, because we don't know
We have to, don't we?
how many nows are left. So now is the only important now.
Yeah, even when you're pouring with sweat and you're like, I really don't like this feeling. You're like, but everything's all right. I'm okay. Could be freezing solid block of ice. So I'm not going to complain as much as I'm not very comfortable in this moment of now. I will cool down in a minute and I'll be just fine. And then I am. So that's all right. Yes. So yeah, I think like you were saying before, like you're happy that you've got your crochet to get on with. And any moment, when you can recognize, I think most of us here got to the point that when you feel that sort of like, oh, flipping out, this is like terrible, you're like, well, stop it, because you know what, it could be a lot worse and I'm all right. And look at all the things or the one thing that's good, or the one little gem. Actually, I mentioned that to Martha and she broke her finger yesterday. And she's actually been sort of looking after a bit of a back injury she's had. And if she wasn't a horse riding person, because horse riding people are crazy nut jobs, they don't care, they'll just keep riding as long as they can. And she really shouldn't be riding, probably, to rest her back, because if she didn't ride for a while, then her back probably heal up a lot quicker. And now the surgeon has said they're going to do this operation on her finger to fix it, because it was a really weird thing. She had some sort of little tumor in there that made it break. I mean, she just was doing up a back brace and suddenly her finger, she went, ow. We were like, what the flip? And her finger was sticking out sideways. We were like, wow, how do you do that when you're just doing up your... And it was just neoprene and Velcro. Anyway, long story short, she had some sort of weird little tumor in her joint there, in her knuckle joint, and they're going to have to do surgery on it. So the surgeon said, but you're not to ride when this has happened for 4 weeks. And I'm like, well, she probably will. But I'm like, well, maybe I'll make you rest for at least a week or two, and maybe your back will heal up quicker, and then maybe you'll be that 100% at the end of all of this. And the showing doesn't start for nearly a month anyway. So yeah, so it might all turn out to be the best. So, I said, there's gems in everything, like Libby always says. There's a gem in it. When you were struggling through all those hard times, you kept finding the gems.
I still always looking for the gems, because it's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
Look for the gems.
That's right. Yeah, and you're doing that. That is what has kept you going. And look at you still. It might not be the easiest, but you're still seeing the gems, and you're still keeping going, and you've still got a smile on your face, and you go dancing.
I do go
right? Dancing. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yes. And anything like that is just so good to keep the vibes high, the morale high. And, same with us with the team. Somebody does something, it's probably their job to have done it. And I say, you do a good job of that. And I'll do that with everyone. I acknowledge everyone. Like, you do a good job of that. Good job. Go on. It's really just a beautiful thing just to do that. Just to acknowledge people. They deserve it.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I love about the market too, is that I have these items that I am more than willing to give away. So some young or any person goes, oh, I really like that. Go ahead and have it. And they usually pay me anyways, but
right.
It's not why I do it. I'm ready to give it to them. But the act of giving it to them makes them generous in wanting to pay me for it.
Nice.
Or not, like usually the kids that come with their parents, they do really well through the vendors. Oh, you like that? Yeah, go ahead, have it. So.
Right. Yeah. So that's a beautiful thing, that the willingness to share. And all that sort of stuff, all these positive energies reflect, and as do the negative ones. So when you put out positivity and willingness and all that stuff, that's what keeps coming back. I mean, I'm just experiencing that just over and over. So again, like these beautiful people here whose home I'm staying in, a whole lot of them, all 5, 6, 7 of them, the 5 animals and the couple, they're just, I did them actually a little favor, because they went to their daughter's graduation in Alabama. So they were gone, I think it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they came back, Thursday, Friday, I think, Saturday, Sunday, and they came back late Sunday night. And there's one of the cats is very old, and she spends most of her time on their bed. And so I even have to go in there, kind of feed her there and stuff like that. And I noticed she'd gobbed on the bed in a few places. So they texted me that Sunday night saying they were on their way home, maybe a couple more hours. And I said, well, Macy's kind of gobbed on your bed. And they're like, oh, well, don't worry about it. We'll sort it out. When we come back, we're used to that. So then she said, I've got some clean sheets in the dryer. So I thought, oh, she got clean sheets in the dryer. Okay, fine. I'll put them on your bed then. So I did. And they were really grateful. And they're like, oh, we owe you now. I said, no, you don't. I just like, you're coming home late at night. It's going to be 10 o'clock at night when they were going to get back. He's like, oh, I've got to change the bed, do this and that. And I thought, well, that's just nice. And they were really grateful, and it's just a simple little thing to do. Be thoughtful, and because they're just so cool and nice, So why wouldn't you? So,
well, this is it. You see an opportunity, and if you take it, it makes all the difference to everybody.
Right, exactly. So yeah, that's all about where I'm at the moment. I know, we're basically talking about what it is to be human. We're all, you and I are sharing what experiences we have when we are humans, and it really doesn't take much to be that, and like I keep going on, I can't stop it because it just keeps coming back. Everyone's just so kind. Everyone I meet is kind and helpful and willing and good, and I know there's stuff going on in the world, but the more of us that can have these experiences, and I'm sure there's loads of people that have the same sort of thing. I know Bird and Eagle are always good at coming in with that sort of. I loved Bird's story when, remember, there was the guy, the cop, that had pulled their friend over with the tinted windows, and that was a problem. The Bird just says to him, I think you've got a bit of an issue with your tint on your windows then. And that was just so funny that he would just, in a really nice way, just say that. And he wasn't meaning it maliciously or badly. He's just like making an observation, And I just love stories like that people, that you can just, you're not ever judging anyone or being unkind. You're just making comments in that situation, and other things like, some people would be embarrassed about their home being dirty or the bed's this or that, and I was just like, well, this is your house, this is how you want to keep it, that's fine. Whatever house I go to, my friend I went to stay with a little while ago, she'd been unwell, and she's like, I was going to clean my house for you and I didn't, I feel really bad, but she's like, I knew it was you, so I didn't really have to worry. And I'm like, of course you don't have to worry, and we don't have to judge each other. We live the ways we live. We're all different. And I'm not going to judge anyone for how, I'm not exactly, I keep things fairly clean, but I've got stuff all over the place, and it's because I live here. If it looks like a show house, that means there's no one living there. They're just existing. That's my view anyway. But if you want to exist and it's like pristine, that's fine. That's fine too. But I'm kind of practical. If I need something, I sit here. I've got my little low chair. I love this little low chair, and I've got my stuff here. I've got my glass of water, and I've got pencil box, and I've got my little notepad, and I've got my computer here, and I've got a few little bits and bobs there, and I've got what I need. I've got my little reading thing, I've got my book there, and I got a little fan there. I've got my little fridge over there, and I don't really have to get up for much if I don't want to in the evening time. But it's not exactly perfectly organized, but it is, you see, in its own way. So that's fine. But yeah, I don't know what else we want to share about. There's lots of stuff going on, legal name fraud stuff. Like Cynthia's always got like good stuff going on. If you can go to her WordPress site, there's lots of stuff to read. Kurt Callenbach's keeping going with his Tuesday night talks, with lots of stuff going on. He's got his website, curtisrichardcallenbach.xyz, and you can join up there. And then, of course, there's Gemstone University, which we all know quite well about. Maybe we'll get Ken on. I think he said early next year. We'll get him on again and see. I haven't had a lot of time. I try and go into the unseen chat rooms and skim down, see what's going on. I actually came across quite an interesting document. I've read through a little bit of it, which people might be interested in. Maybe I'll put the link in the Skype room, and maybe in this room. It was sort of like, I thought from this bit I read, it was to do with explaining, you know, how this has all happened, how the courts of equity and how everything is just all messed up from 1933 on, and they've changed the laws and all that stuff, you know. And then you've got Anna von Ritz with all her great stuff, and you know, there's loads of stuff to go and research to do with legal name fraud, because as we all well know, this show started with that whole conversation, and that's why we're here to share our stories from when many of us either not using legal name or just knowing about it, and then again what we've just been talking about, just life and living in general, of, you know, how when we put out something we get back something mirroring that. So, you know, any of these conversations can be to do with any of this stuff. It doesn't have to just be legal name fraud. But, you know, I know that that's what, you know, the show was originally based on. So that's, you know, that's the sort of thing that, you know.
And it's our stories from dealing with the fact.
Yes, that we know.
Yeah, that we do know, and what our
right, exactly. So, yeah.
You know, that story is from the heart, from knowing that there is so much corruption in so many places.
Yeah, right. And, you know, all that fraud and corruption, I mean, you know, we're looking at stuff like Monsanto and, you know, the flipping election and all that stuff. We all know that's all. Oh, I saw a video this morning on Facebook briefly before I left, that was some sort of announcement, was President Obama and Joe Biden announcing that they'd signed a bill that was going to help people get cured from cancer, because we're really nearly there, and this is going to, you know, help people have a chance to go and get the treatment they need, and blah blah blah. And I thought, well, what a load of bloody rubbish. That's hardly going to happen at this point, you know. I mean, like, really? I know I don't want to be too cynical, but really, you're really going to do something about it now, like after been hiding all the cures for, like, I don't know how long. Yeah.
Yeah, and I listened to some guy, some Navy commander, telling the world that there are more naval officers, retired naval officers, living in the Ozark, Arkansas postal code, because the way the waters are going to rise, and they're rising at the end of this year or 2017. And I'm looking at the map thinking, well, Jolly's going to be swimming. I'm going to be swimming. A lot of us swimming, because we're not up in the Ozarks. Anyways, it's interesting. He said there's a realtor that said he had noticed how many retired naval officers had that as their code. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they know then.
They know that the Hudson Bay is going to come down through the Great Lakes into the Gulf of Mexico, dividing both Canada and the U.S. into two.
Right.
All of the East Coast and Nova Scotia, bye, and California, a good part of it, and
yeah,
you know, it's back based on. I remember seeing a map that Edgar Casey put out.
Oh, right. Yes.
It's very similar to that map, but these are supposedly military classified information. So, you know, when you see this and you think, yeah, okay, well, all ports are going to go, it's going to be 400-foot change in water. Woo! Swim, 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 swim along with me. It really makes you appreciate the now, you know, because I'm not in a hurry to leave the coast. If that's one big wave is coming, and
well, let's go for it.
Ride that wave. But you just think, with all this different information that many of us have read for so many years, you think, all right, now soon was like 30 years ago. Why is it happening?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I mean, we really don't know what's going to happen. We can get sort of thoughts and ideas, but at the end of the day, we're sort of like, oh, well, whatever happens, happens. We just do the best we can while we're here.
Yeah.
And then if things, like you say, if we get swept away by a tidal wave, well, maybe we will. I mean, that's what was going on last September. They were on about, oh, this is going to hit, and then meteor's going to hit, and blah, 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 and the whole coastline's going to be gone, and da, 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 da. So I was like, okay, fine. If it was going to be, it might have been, but, you know, it wasn't. So, you know, on it goes. And
I'm thinking this guy might have owned a lot of real estate in the Ozarks. Who knows?
plots.
Yeah, okay.
Right, you know, you never know what's going on, any of these people. So, oh, I don't know. Just, I think at this point, like we've said, we just don't get kind of really alarmed by any of it. We just like let it come and go and do the best we can with where we're at, and enjoy every moment of now, right? Keep bashing on.
I'm thinking I see Amore. Is that you? And did you want to jump in? And or Eagle and Bird?
All right, yeah, I guess.
Jump in because I know we're having a good time chatting, but there might be stories or someone shy who
Sure.
has something they want to share but hasn't shared before. Please feel free to jump in. These are stories from the heart for you and us. And we have a song we can play. Rise up, rise up. Oh, you're muted, honey bunny.
I was just saying, yeah, we've got Jabba, we got Rise Up, we've got Slow Down, and
Slow down.
yeah, the slow one down is good actually, and that's a good one for me. And I've been acknowledging that myself, like I said earlier. I might have said to you. That instead of constantly rushing around, I used to always be a bit hunted that, oh, I should be doing something, and like there's nothing to do. Like, everything's under control. Everybody's all right. I don't have to pretend to do something when there's nothing I really have to do right now. So, do you know what? I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes, and I do that, and that's really cool. And I don't feel guilty. Like back in the old days, I used to feel, oh, I better be doing something. But now I'm like, you know what? I'm entitled to take a break. I'm going to. Martha knows damn well if I'm sitting down, then everything's under control. And I'm pretty good at like looking around and saying, okay, okay, everybody's okay, right? I'm going to sit down. So yeah, that's good. And the slow down is a really good, really, really good reminder for everyone to do, because you know, when we are rushing around constantly, that is something that will do us harm ultimately. So I think actually Jabba's message is really very good, that it's just reminding us to slow down. And he's got, I think it's a picture of a sloth on the YouTube when you go looking for that. Yeah, so to play this, I have to share my screen. I don't think I can do it without that. Otherwise, it will play like really kind of weird. So I've just got to find it now. I've got it here somewhere. Oh, no, it's over there. And now my cursor goes very slow. Here we go. Here we go. There's Rise Up. There's Slow Down. Come on. Okay, here we go. This should work. Might take a moment, but everybody remember to slow down when you're going too fast. You can go away. And if you get started, oh. Huh. See, that's a good thing about the Blog Talk Studio. It does all those things for you. But come on, you can do it. It's not playing, but it should be, because if it's up there, it means it's going to do. There we go. Here we go. Yeah, this is it. Hey! Slow down. Everybody
Everybody just keep it cool, while others have been taking for fool. Slow down. Everybody just keep it cool, while others have been taking for food. Do you really wanna go there? Push it forward. Do you really believe you can afford it? A path full of violence and self-destruction distract us from the ways of revolution. Slow down now, you forever going too fast. Slow down now, if you want your word to last. Slow down, while others have been. Slow down, everybody just keep it cool, while others have been taking for food. Slow down, everybody just keep it cool, while others have been taking for food. Run on a rat race track, run faster and faster. No, you never looking back, provoking a disaster. Never stop for a minute and relax. Slow down now, take a break, catch your breath. Stand up and I know what that happy slow down and that did not be happy and for all of that. We don't want to stress all of the time. Did not be happy and for all of that, all of that, all of that. Slow down. Everybody just keep it cool, while others have been taking for food. Slow down. Everybody just keep it cool, while others have been taking for food. Slow down. Everybody just keep it cool, while others have been taking for food. Slow down. Everybody just keep it cool, while others have been taking for food. Slow down. Everybody just keep it cool, while others have been taking for food.
Ah, there we go.
There we go. I do love Jabba. Thank you, Jabba.
Slow down. Yeah, some great music. Yeah, that's I think it's jabba.ws. I'm pretty sure that's his website. So you can go there and you can find there's a section where he has links to the YouTube videos of his various tracks, like that one. So oh yeah, now I've forgotten. I've got to have to change, and I never remember. I've got to change my Windows Media Player. It's on like replay, so as soon as it finishes, it starts playing again. I never remember to go and sort it out after the show. So yeah, but that's that. So that's nice. So there's so many people doing, well, not doing, but putting out information, and it's up to us to go there and listen to their sharing, the same as like what we're doing. And I know Jabba talks on quite a few different radio shows. He's got all sorts of views. Everyone's got their views of what to do about the situation that we've kind of discovered that is occurring between the fraud and the lies and the extortion. And some are more concerned with the sort of the source of this situation as to it's we always talk about they, right? Well, who's they? And then like Ken Scott will say, well, they are we. Ultimately, we're all one, and it all comes from the same. And we got to get ourselves out. But kind of along the way, historically, certain things have occurred, and certain so-called people have been in positions to, like I was reading that document I just shared. It talks about how Roosevelt was put in into the presidency in that time, in the 30s, to implement this new so-called law and way of laws to be. And there was a certain case that enabled that new laws to be brought in, the new law, and was to do with the United States of America, or the US, or the various names that it has to be working in bankruptcy. So it was quite, I mean, I kind of, gleaned that from that, reading just the first page or so of that thing that somebody posted in the Gemstone chat groups. So you're going to kind of pull out interesting things. We all kind of can pick this thing up in different ways. People write it in different ways. And actually, I want to remind anybody that hasn't seen that document that Ken Scott wrote, which is a really good explanation of what is occurring in this world and how it started. And I posted it just so for easy access on truthprevailsalways.info, on the tab of Gemstone University, that if you click on just it, then there's a drop down that gives you a second one. It's the overview of the world system of bondage and separation from life. That is a really good explanation of what's happened in the world. And I actually might go and read that again at some point, because it helps you kind of get it back within your own comprehension, because it's really hard. It's sometimes you understand what is happening, what has been happening, but when you go trying to explain it to somebody else, like I am blathering on, it can be a bit kind of hard to kind of explain it. But when you've been listening to people explain it well, or reading something like this, that gives you a better sort of comprehension yourself to then be able to explain it. So that, again, it's called the overview of the world system of bondage and separation from life. Basically, as when we claim to be those legal names, we are actually seen as dead entities, as we're only representing these dead legal fictions. So again, it's probably on the Gemstone site somewhere, but that's so kind of big. Truth Prevails Always, and all's got 2 L's, .info, and then Gemstone University, click on that, and then there's also a drop down that's called Courts Names and the Sesta KV Trust. That one is really good too. Those are 2 really, really good ones to go to read. I've got Kurt Kallenbach. I've got his, he made some little whiteboard videos that are really cool, basic information as to what's going on. Then I've got Anna von Ritz and a few of her links to a few of her essays and stuff that she's written. There's so many, people out there that have done so much good of researching all of this and trying to explain it from their perspectives. Another thing that's a really, really good one to go and read is The End of All Evil. I've posted the link to that on that Truth Prevails always.info site as well. That's a really good PDF book to read. That really gives people an idea of what is going on in the world. It's not specific to the legal name part, but it's a really good eye-opener. So I know, most of us know this stuff or know of it, but I just wanted to add that because, we're kind of blathering on, having a lovely little chat conversation here. And, obviously the show is based on the legal name fraud information that we've come to be aware of. But so I just wanted to kind of add a little bit of that into it. We haven't got any of our info experts today.
We don't, but I did see Wonder 22 showed up.
Oh, cool.
And he was the young man, or I won't label him as young or old, but wonderful being that spoke to us after the show. So Wonder 22, if you have a story to share or want to reshare the story,
Yes, that would be magnificent. And just meanwhile, our friend administrator Crow, he's mentioned that another good read is A Most Dangerous Superstition by Larkin and Rose. Yeah, Larkin and Rose is another one that's done a lot of really good work. There's a lot of people, in their own directions doing all sorts of good stuff. So thank you for that sharing as well. But yeah, if anyone would like to pop in, if you're able for it, 1 to 22, we'd be grateful, but we understand if you're just listening, that's always okay too. So,
hey, how's it going?
Hey, yay! Welcome.
Jump on in.
Have you dropped off? No? Still sitting there?
Yeah.
No?
Oh.
Yeah, something went wrong. Do I need to try and unmute him? Unmute him. Maybe he got muted again. There we go. I've unmuted you here, if that's any help.
1 to 22.
Huh. He said hello.
Oh, well. Hello to you.
All right. Hello. How's it going? It's going good. It's going good as always. That's the good thing. All right. Well, we'll leave him at his whatever he's doing now. And yeah, so anybody who wants to jump on in, jump on in. Meanwhile, we'll acknowledge all of our brothers and sisters. There's always Debot to be thankful for, and Bird and Eagle, and Lotus is here, and yeah, Raj and Ra. Ra, I guess, is kind of busy up in the boonies of, if it's cold with you, it's got to be wicked cold up there where she is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody, and like I said, I think Sarah might be kind of working on the move at this point. Reikium and Mela and all those lot, I hear from them once in a while to just keep in touch. They're doing all right. They've managed to part with their old family car and replace it with a 4-wheel drive, which they've been wanting to do, and that happened beautifully. So that was a really cool story. They advertised the old Nissan. Well, she's not that old, but yeah, I suppose in beautiful condition. They kept her beautifully, and the beautiful, perfect new keeper showed up wanting that very article, and actually ended up paying more than they'd imagined they'd get, and they were able to use that to exchange for a 4-wheel Subaru Forester, which a friend of his had, so he decided he would go with that one, even though he wanted a manual one. That one's an automatic. He decided to go with it because he knew, the condition it was in. Hello.
Is that you, Amore?
What are you doing?
Hey.
Sounds like Bird.
Does indeed.
On Amore's phone.
Bird made tamales today.
Yay.
Oh.
And since I'm speaking in some other something instead of me, yeah, what is that? Is that third person? Is that third corporation? Bird's tired today. Yeah.
Third corporation,
yeah,
I like it, yeah.
Third corporation. Yeah. Sweet. Don't even have one, but I guess I'm speaking in third.
No, who knows who second is?
There, perfect. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was lots of fun.
Cool.
Fun. Never done it before. I can make donuts. I can make lefse. I can make Norwegian cookies. Did my hand at the tamales today, and I tell you what, kicked my butt, but they'll be good. So there we go. Everything was fun, and just a quick note here too, as far as our focuses here with the last several shows and all that, the sharings. Just a quick thing there. With everyone can do, of course, their own free will choice. I'm gonna just start making more calls, and I haven't sent any letters at all to any of these people, but I'm gonna begin doing that as well, just to let all these bozos who think that they have some sort of authority, that our eyes are on them and we're watching them, and that by their actions they are in thought, word, and deed they're known because you know, the stuff that Eagle's gone through, which he shared. You know, there's been no movement, and calls to the Vatican again, the Archdiocese, to just let him know about, you know, okay, you know, so are you, and I think I said it before, you know, the Archbishop here in Tucson, it's Cacanus or whatever, and I think I said it before on the show. You either kick an ass or you kiss an ass, and I'm really curious because right now, Archbishop, you're looking like your name is George Kiss an Ass, and you're kissing ass to the corporation. So just, you know, it's not to put the heat on them or anything. It's just to let them know that there's more than one set of eyes on you, watching you, what you're doing.
Yeah.
And watching what you're not doing. And when I shared with them, you know, I asked them, you know, I said, is what you're doing to protect the living from the corporate vampires? And, you know, Sister Charlotte said yes. And, well, you know, I really don't want to call Sister Charlotte a liar, but it's looking as though she's a liar, or at least in the service of a liar. So it's a little disheartening for me to share this with you, but I'm tired and I made tamales, so I'm taking a pass on it. Sister Charlotte can just have to. She's not getting any tamales either. That's all there is to that.
Not. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to make them aware, I'm sure between Eagle and I will share some stuff for you guys to put on whatever it is, the Facebook, Twitter, whatever communications you guys roll with. We've got the emails, we've got this different stuff there to just let them know that we're keeping an eye on them and we're watching their inaction.
You guys are awesome.
In action.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's mainly what I wanted to share there with everyone. Other than health, happiness, and abundance, and peace and love to each and every one of you all.
Yeah, always. And right back at you. You guys are awesome.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just having lots of fun. And I don't know what that is you just made me, but I'm liking it.
Nice.
An eggnog after tamales.
Oh,
how about that?
Nice.
In a brandy snifter.
Wow.
I'm freaking on. I am on top of the world. Yeah. Everybody out there jealous of Bird? Yep. Yeah, you are.
Sounds good. Good stuff. See?
Love you all, and just we'll try and get those that information to everybody there, just to let them know, hey, eyes are on, and hey, and their eyes can be on us too, because I just love them watching me be free when they're not. So.
Nice. Flying free like a bird. That's you, because you are one.
And I have no idea how to mute this phone, so if you would mute me, and I'll hit *6 again in a minute if I got more to throw at you.
All right, we can do that.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So
Love
much,
you, dear.
Bird. Love you.
Love everybody.
Thanks. All right, there we go. That worked. Cool.
Lotus did want to put a shout out to everybody listening now, in the future, or later, or whenever, the good afternoon and evening. So just putting that out there in the airwaves too, because I don't think, do people get to see what was written in the chat after?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you can. There's something you can do, and you can download the chat. At the end of the day, there's if you hit more, I think, then yes, you can say save chat.
But otherwise, so somebody who's not listening now.
If somebody's not listening now, you're right. Yeah, they can't unless I did something about that. When I get the whole thing recorded, when the show finishes, then Zoom does this whole converting thing. And then I have the files, and one of them is the chat, as far as I know. And I don't usually do anything with that one, but I could. I could put it somewhere. I could post maybe a link to it. I could put that in the box file along with the MP3.
Phone numbers and everything else also appear.
No, the phone numbers won't be there. It'll just be the chat. Yeah, there would just be the chat. So yeah, we can consider doing that as well. Would only be one more link and
One
one
more
more
step
down.
for you to do.
One more thing for me to do.
I do want you to know I do not have access to Zoom, so sister is doing all of this on her own all the time, and I would really like to change that, but not really.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do a little some sort of call together with each other, and I can maybe show you some of the things I do, and maybe you could do some of that if you'd like to.
Can I do it
Basically,
the access?
well, yeah, you see, that's the thing. I have the files, and I have to. I might as well tell everybody what I do. So after the show, Zoom converts the whole kind of thing. We record
It
this.
takes quite a while.
So then it gives me an MP4 video of whatever's on the screen now. And then it also gives me an MP4 audio only. So the first thing I do is I convert that MP4 audio only into an MP3, because more people have a player that will play an MP3 than an MP4. And then once I've got that converted to MP3, I then put that into the box.com folder. And then I post a link to that in the Justice Radio Network .net web page for that day's show. And then the next thing I do is I go and put that MP3 onto Blog Talk Radio platform, and I create a whole new show there to play on the Thursday at the same time. And that's when you can go there and either listen to it, the replay, or download it after it's played. And then the next thing I do is I go and I download the MP4 video version to YouTube. And that's called Stories from the Heart on YouTube. And then I post the link to Justice Radio Network blog talk on that justiceradionetwork.net, and I also post the link to the YouTube on justiceradionetwork.net. So it does take me a bit of time to get that done. It depends where I'm at for download time, upload to YouTube, and to converting the MP3 and blah blah blah. So I know you all really wanted to know that, but I just thought I might as well tell you.
I wanted people to recognize how much you really are holding this together, because without you, I can't do that, and you're working a full day. So I just want to give you a round of major accolades, dear sister.
Well, thank you.
Are doing an incredible job.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate you, Libby, to be there always with me to support me with this, because I probably wouldn't have kept going so long without you. So right back at you, sister.
That invisible thread, it ain't being broken.
That's it. Yeah, we got that invisible thread as always. And the same with my sister Sheila, who I stayed in her beautiful farm all summer. Those invisible threads, sometimes you don't see them ever. You might not even feel them here and there, but they're always there. They never break. And those are the people, and like most of you brothers and sisters out there, when you're listening, you're there. When you're not listening, you're still there. And we still know that you're that we know we're still connected with the invisible thread, even though it's not always connecting us. Literally, we are always connected. So for sure, there's lots of those invisible threads floating around here, right here and now.
Well, I think that's the collective consciousness is growing exponentially through the invisible threads that are getting stronger and stronger. That back to those energies, right?
That's right. That's right. Excuse me yawning. Yes, but absolutely you're right. And more and more, these invisible threads, we do feel them, and we do know who are our close brothers and sisters that we are going to be spending time with, and you just get to know that without too much difficulty. You feel it, like you and I, we connected. I mean, we'd been in that one of those Skype chat rooms for quite some time, just like with those labels, and we'd all post various things, the few of us that were in that, and then I recognized you as Libby or whatever handle you had on there, and then we both got sort of aware of this legal name stuff and Kate's table and all that stuff, And then you reached out to me when I was having my first incident, as I'd like to call it, saying, would you like to chat? And I was like, oh yes, that'd be great. And that invisible thread showed itself visibly for a while, and it continues that way, but it's invisible a lot of the time, and we've never looked back. And that was what, way back in the middle of 2014, and although we'd been connected on the Skype room for quite some time before that.
Oh yeah, we were both in the One People.
That's right, following all that stuff, and that all had some gems in it too, and we connected with some beautiful people because of that. Most of my invisible thread people come via that in some way, form, shape, or description. So yeah, it's quite some journey, as we all recognize that this journey is, life is a journey. It must be said, follow your heart, not your head. Trust yourself, know that your heart shows you which way to go. And that's what's happening, isn't it, all the time, that we keep following our hearts. And again, like you're saying, even if this tidal wave or whatever it is come, well, I'm at Florida, I'm a Ghana, but I'm here for some good reason. I've followed my heart here, and I don't absolutely have to be here, but for some reason I am here, and it's all good, and many are benefiting from my being here, including myself. So I'll just keep on keeping on and find my way, and know I'll end up where I'm meant to be, because okay, I can make so many choices in this physical vessel that I'm in, but ultimately that big part of me is guiding this little part of me to do all the things I'm doing, right? So that was
We're all in the right place.
Yeah. So you can never say, oh, but I should have done this, if only I'd done that, and oh, I made the wrong decision, I really regret this and that, and oh my goodness, I don't do any of that. I'm like, oh, I'm here, well, I'm here, so I'm here, so it is what it is, and I am what I am, and I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's is. I never do regret, I never do if only, or what if, or any of that. I'm so great to have got past all that. I mean, I used to do a lot of that stuff, but oh, it was terrible, poor me, I had this sex happen to me, and look what happened to me, look what happened to me, look what happened, this happened to me, that happened to me, the other happened to me. Things don't happen to you. You create every single flipping one. From abuse, upwards and downwards. From others, I had this living being supposedly looking like had complete control over me. Well, I gave my power away. I allowed all that stuff. So now I recognize I created it. At the time, I didn't know what the flipping heck. I was like, oh, poor me, this has happened to me. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, nothing I can do about this. And now I'm like, oh, if I don't like being here, just make another choice. Consult with that big part of me, follow my heart, and off I go. So that's quite interesting, because I'm saying, one hand, I am where I am, and my big self is guiding me. I guess I had to have those experiences, and I had to see the gems in them. But on the other hand, I suppose it's the big part of me that's created all of that.
Well, I think the important thing is the experience, because it's
yeah,
the experience that we really learn.
Oh, absolutely.
Reading in the book can be exciting, but if you don't experience it,
right, sure.
So,
and you can be told, don't do this and don't do that. You shouldn't do this and you should do that. But until you experience it, you don't know for sure, and it can be different for everyone.
it is.
It is different for everyone. I mean,
because our bigger selves are teaching us what we need to learn.
I guess.
Well, yeah, sometimes it's like, really? I wrote this, did I? Yeah.
Yeah, did I really plan this? Do I really want to do all these things? Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? It's like, the whole thing about Martha breaking her finger. It's like, why did something happen to me? I just was doing this thing up, I broke my finger. How can you do that? Well, there's a thing going on there. Well, that needs fixing now. Now it needs fixing, not yesterday, not tomorrow, now. Or, well, it's like in a few days' time. But, now instead of like a month ago or in a month's time, now was the time to get this thing sorted out. There's the gem. And you'll be fixed up for then. So I guess, those things do occur. Like you say, those experiences, we grow and learn and move on, and makes us who we are, and these physical things at the moment anyway. And I tend to enjoy all those experiences, especially when you can recognize that you did create them some way, some part of you created them, and there's no blaming anyone else. That's the beauty of it. I love that.
Yeah.
Once you get that,
That's the freedom.
that is the freedom, isn't it? Because you're not the victim anymore. You're no victim. I mean, I although I was never the sort of like the type to say poor me, I felt like, you know, how did I go and get stuck in this thing? When I didn't recognize that I had a large part in creating that scenario. But now I see and I know that I've had played so much of a part in every single experience I've had. It is a freedom, because there's none of this if only this and if only that, and none of this poor me, and none of this I'm a victim, and none of that if only this had happened, if only I'd done this, and if I hadn't done that, that wouldn't have happened, and blah, blah, blah. That's all gone.
Well, because when you realize you're the one, then you can change it, right?
Yes.
But if you may not be able to change the situation, but you can change your reaction.
That's a big one.
You know, the situation may still arise, but how do you?
Yeah. You don't get into that drama. I find myself, I mean, occasionally I'll get a bit revved up about something, but for the most part, something happens in which a while back I'd have been like, probably having full hysterics about. And now I'm like, oh, okay, so that's happened. Okay, so what am I going to do about that? All right, and then it ends up being much less of a drama. I went, on Monday, I decided it was time my body, I've been doing pretty well, but it needed some chiropractic adjustment. So I asked my great chiropractor from New York where would be a good place to go down here in Florida. So he sent me to somebody, and it was like 15 minutes away. And so I put the address in the GPS, because I've decided it's a very useful tool down in this area where there's so many bloody ridiculous roads and traffic. And a few days earlier, I'd gone down that way for another errand. So I put the thing in the GPS ahead of time. So then I get home from the barn, I get a shower, and I get in the car, and I opened the GPS, and I clicked on the thing, and off it went. And I drove all the way there, and I suddenly was getting closer and closer, and it was the same direction, but it just wasn't the same address. And I suddenly thought, oh, this is like the other day. And I suddenly thought, this is the place I came the other day. And I was like, oh, I clicked on the wrong one. I've gone to the same place as I went to last time. But thankfully, I knew it wasn't far away. Now, in the old days, I would have had full big churning in my stomach. It would be like, oh, I'm going to be late. This is terrible. Oh my God, I've got the wrong place. And I was like, oh no, oh dear. Okay, right. Let's have a look at this. So I just went, oh yeah, look, I did it wrong. Oh, it's in there. It'll be all right. And because I hate being late. And I put the other one in, and it ended up only being like 10 minutes away, and I wasn't late at all. But I just felt my reaction was totally different to what it would have been. Because I really don't like being late for people, especially it's kind of late in the day. It was his last appointment. I was like, well, I don't want to be late. And I was a new kind of comer to it and all of that. And I just recognized the difference in my response versus the reaction. The reaction was that sort of this big surge of like, oh no. It was like, oh no, silly me. I clicked on the wrong one, and I've gone to the wrong place. And now I'm like, now I know the difference between that one and that one. So yes, that's a really good point, because when you don't have those sort of drama reactions, you don't get stressed anymore. You're like, oh, that's all right. I'm going to be late. Well, that's okay. Or maybe I'm not going to be late. That might be all right. Okay. And then it is all right. That's when time stands still. You had a story like that the other day, didn't you? The other week, I think, and that you got somewhere quicker than you on the bus or something. There was something like that.
Oh,
yeah. And that keeps happening. That you get places.
As long as you relax into it.
Yeah, it's going to be okay.
Trust that it's meant to be. Trust that maybe you're avoiding an accident. Maybe there's all kinds of variables that are part of our life. And how we react to those variables improves or not.
Exactly.
Our next moments.
Yes, the next moment. Yeah, and that happens to me a lot now. That I do acknowledge those moments when something is supposedly going wrong. I don't see it that way anymore. It's like it's just different to what I thought it might be. And then often it ends up being better. When you see it as not being wrong and you see it as being different than what you expected. And we're actually seeing that with the horses. Last year, it was, well, this year, earlier this year, we had the 8 horses that time and the 2 same small paddocks. But last time we were at the other end of the barn. It's further away from these 2 little paddocks. Now we're in right beside the 2 little paddocks. And that straight away makes a big difference. We had to gallop from this end to there when they get upset. Now this time, we've barely had any problems with the horses getting upset over stupid things, because they do. And everyone is just being so good. So we're kind of expecting, we're preparing for the worst, but we're expecting the best. And the best keeps happening. And I keep having to say, these horses have been just so good. And I said to Martha, when she had to end up yesterday going off to get the x-ray and this, that, and the other, I said, the horses have just been so good. Everybody's been really good. We've had no problems at all. Everybody's been really good. And everything just keeps going really well. And now we kind of expect that now. We're always prepared for things to go wrong. But we just keep expecting everything to go right. And now it does. And I keep, again, seeing more and more of that. And that reaction thing, when something looks like it's going wrong, you're like, okay, I'm just going to deal with this the way that I feel is right. And then again, like you've said, the gems pop up and you're like, oh, that happened because, look now what's happened because of that. And, you know, actually the 2 places that I'd gone to the same one the second time instead of the other one, I might want to go from one to the other. Now I know the distance between those 2. So actually it was a very useful thing that happened, and plus I wasn't late. So I was like, oh, well, that's why that happened, because now I know how far it is from that one to that one. So if I remember wanting to go to that one to the chiropractor and I want to stop at this place to pick something up, now I know how far it is and I'd be able to work it out. So, you know, it was just like, okay, that's fine then. Yeah, so those events do keep occurring, and wow, yeah.
So there are moments of inflowment because you flow of it, right?
Yeah.
Flow.
Get in the flow, and you don't let it get you all anxious or concerned or worried or upset. You're just like, okay, this is happening like this. Okay. And then, like you said, then it really doesn't end up being anything terrible at all. But the more you get churned up and worried, the more likely you are to be late or something really go wrong or something happen. That it just is very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Wow. I can even, like, you know, think back, and those sort of things do keep occurring, and I do have less and less less panic. Yeah.
Oh, remember I had to send you a package? Perfectly. It arrived before you left.
Before I arrived there, that's right.
It's all perfect.
All perfect. And then you happen to mention her, did you get it? And I'm like, oh, I forgot to ask them, is it in the mailbox? And then I asked them, and lo and behold, there it was, sitting there waiting before I left again. So that all worked out perfectly. Yeah, there's so many synchronicities and things working out beautifully and all of that. I mean, we had that one when I wanted to go and visit Bird and Eagle, and I had no way to get there. And then suddenly Eagle said, oh, what about Neil? And suddenly, bingo, Neil's like, yeah, I'll go up there. All happened without any sort of concern or worry or drama, and the whole thing just went beautifully. It was, marvelous visit. That trip was marvelous too. All my trips were wonderful. I was, everything again fitted in, and the staying at New Orleans and all that stuff, and the lovely hostel, and all the cool people there, and the cool place, and me taking my bike, and just everything was just brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, it's all such enjoyable adventures. Instead of them being stressful, they're all enjoyable. Yeah. So I'm actually going to have a go at playing one of these other songs, because I want to know what this one is like. Because I've got another one of these no copyright songs here, and I want to see what that one is doing. So I'm just I'll have to share my screen, because I think if I don't share my screen, then it doesn't play the music right. So we'll just do that again. Shares.
Do you know what it's called?
I do another thing, and you'll probably see it come up here. Here we are. 0 copyright. Pacific Sun. I'm going to play that one, if it will. And it wants me. It just take a few moments. It's very slow. My computer didn't want to wake up this evening. It was having a nice rest. Here we go. Oh, this is a nice, really jolly one. I like this one.
I just wanted to tell people that the reason we play this music and not what we used to play is because YouTube has exceptions about what we can play and not play.
Right.
And so choosing music that has no patent copyright stuff
Right.
attached. And it yeah,
Yeah.
I miss the music we used to play.
Yes. Yeah. And you know, we could go ahead and play it again if we don't put it on YouTube. That's the only place that's a problem. So, you know, if we decide that we're bored with this, we can totally at any stage just not put that episode on YouTube. That's really the long and short of it.
Oh, something good. Dancing. I mean, good. I'm glad you like the music, sister. Yay, Lotus. And yes, it has, but it doesn't. Yeah, it was jolly music. I mean, joyful music. But I miss her. I'm so grateful for my wonderful roommate who puts on playlists that just get us grooving.
Yay.
For about 15, 20 minutes. And that's all it takes to just really have a good groove.
Yes.
It changes your state of mind. I mean,
that's right.
It's a lot of great, but it's just a way to change the flavor of the day, get some really good dancing music on.
Dancing's fantastic. So good for every part of you, isn't it?
It is.
So are you able to go and do that dancing in the local place at this time of year? Is it too cold to go out and do that?
Oh, no. It's never too cold to go out. You deal with it, right? You layer.
Dress up right, yeah.
Yeah, no, this place was walkable. So, no, now there's no more dances. There might be a New Year's Eve dance, but
okay.
I'm feeling like I don't think I want to do New Year's Eve.
Right, yeah.
I think I would be home playing a good playlist and dancing, but you never know.
You never know.
You just never know.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about winter, isn't it? Is that you sort of like a bit kind of like hibernation and don't really want to kind of, it's a bit of an effort to go out and get dressed up warm enough to go and all that sort of thing.
Especially at night, during the day.
Yes, it's dark and...
It's a hibernation mode.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And I think that's a nice thing about the Four Seasons. That's why I would never live in this area forever, because I do love the seasons. That you do sort of say, okay, it's a rainy day, or it's snowing, or whatever, it's icy out. Okay, I don't have to go out, and I'm not going to. And it's just, it feels right. It just feels natural that you should say, hey, no, I'm going to hibernate today. I'm going to stay in and crochet or whatever it is that you choose to like to do. Or just huddle up.
You shovel for a while and then
get warmed up, and then you're like, okay, I don't have to go out now.
Make a nice soup to go.
There you go.
It encourages activity, but different kinds, nurturing activities.
Right. Yeah. I think the seasons, they're just all so individual, aren't they? The Four Seasons, like you have 4 seasons where you're at.
Yeah, we definitely have 4.
You definitely do.
Some days.
Yeah, and I love the differences, and that's what I like in any of those areas, like North Carolina's one, even though it's not so extreme as like where you're at. You get hot in the summer and you get freezing in the winter, and it's kind of similar in New York, whereas North Carolina, I mean, they do get pretty cold, but not like you do. Like it's like 0 and minus 5 or whatever centigrade, or let's say, what was it, 32 or 20 something, Fahrenheit. That's pretty cold, but where you are, like you're talking about minus 17, which is 0 Fahrenheit, we would get similar in New York, but it's still, at least you do appreciate the difference. The transitions are marvelous, aren't they, with the spring and the fall? Marvelous.
The beauty of snow,
the magnificence of it. I mean, it's incredible stuff.
And back to that life, everything exists in a drop of water. It exists in a snowflake too, right? Because a snowflake does become a drop of water. To me, it's just amazing when you see nature and you work with her. And when I lived in Hawaii, I did miss the 4 seasons. Do you notice that, Lotus? Now that you're here, maybe you can't
Oh
talk.
yes, I suppose Hawaii is not the seasons there at all, and that's like, yeah. So actually, my friend here at Florida, she says there's only 2 seasons in Florida: hurricane season and tourist season. So basically, the weather's the same except when you've got hurricanes, and then when you don't have hurricanes, you've got tourists, and that's now really. But yeah, so but the change. I mean, every year we marvel at spring when, especially like where you are, New York. For all the world, the grass looks dead. The trees look dead. Everything's barren and brown and just no life looking in them at all. And then suddenly, lo and behold, you get those little tiny little shoots, and a little bit bigger every day you come out, those shoots a bit bigger, and until suddenly one night, everything comes forth and bing, the grass pops up, the leaves pop out. That is magical. Every year, the same, you be in awe of the, you just marvel at the magnificence of it, of the new birth.
Yeah.
And it's worth every part of that tough winter to experience that. That's
There is something about community, warmth of the hearth. There, the more people that are sitting closer together, the warmer it is. So, yeah.
yeah. And I see that maybe our brother Ciro may have popped in at the last moment. That's
Oh yeah.
no legal name has popped in there. So hello. And yeah, our friend Crow just mentioned that spring's his favourite too, and the Ozarks, yeah.
There you're in
And
the
the
right
dogwood
place.
and the redwood bloom. Yeah, spring, and it's magnificent. And then I was lucky enough to be on North Carolina for the fall.
Mm.
Oh, wow. I mean, I thought New York's beautiful, but where I was at, that west side of North Carolina, magnificent is just a small way to describe it. The mountains, all the different shapes of the hills and the mountains coming down, and the colors. I mean, everywhere you look, there was just more and more of that magnificent beauty of color. Really, really incredibly beautiful. And I was there right at the peak. It was absolutely magnificent. Absolutely, yeah. So spring, fall, and then you've got the summer, everything blooming, and then you've got the winter with everything just saying, hey, look, we're taking a break, sleeping. And then you've got the few evergreens mixing in, so you do get some green going on. Do you have evergreens up there, Libby?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty.
Oh yeah.
So you've got plenty of green still, even though everything
yeah.
else is
Yeah. There's a lot of spruce. There's a lot of fir.
right.
Balsam. There's a lot of all kinds of.
Sure. Nice.
Not many. There's still a lot of pine, but not as many as there once were.
Right. I see a notice in there from Ciro. Hey all, too loud here to come on. Kids, cats and dogs kind of thing. Wednesday is so high energy. And he's found something for the little home. A heat solution. Okay, there's a YouTube there to click on, so anybody that's interested. He's found that there's just so many brilliant YouTube videos about sort of like very clever heating systems and homemade solar and all that sort of stuff. So no doubt that's one of that type of thing. Found for the little home heat solution. There we go. So we'll put that up somewhere. But yeah, so well, hi there. We're glad that you've popped by to see us at the end of the evening, and we've been just chatting about how wonderful life is, and I'm sure you've got wonderful things going on over there. And the creation of that beautiful new little home for the family. Looking forward to seeing it complete and hearing all the stories of what's going on. So yeah, the magnificence of seasons, though, there's no getting away from that. And you've got the butterflies there to prove that's going on. Sheila and I actually saw a lot of butterflies this summer. Oh, there's a meow.
And Lotus wrote in the chat room, I guess she's got people around, so she doesn't want to talk. Hawaii is perhaps one season. The winter is really not winter. Veggies and fruit grow year round. Hurricane season is July and August.
Oh.
Oops, somebody's jumping in. Nope. I'll just continue talking then. They are back to back, and depending on which island, determine who gets the worst weather And that is usually the big island. So hurricane season, yeah, July.
Yeah, sorry about that. I clicked on Ciro's link and then, of course, he started talking. I forgot YouTube just starts itself up without you asking it to. So sorry about that.
Okay.
I was like, who's talking over you? And I suddenly realized it was my computer was doing that.
It's a good thing we've been doing this for 2 years and some, huh?
It really is. Is it really? Yeah, it's 2.5 years or something, is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Goodness me. Yeah. And, I think it's working well enough on Zoom. At least, we don't get can't hear you and we've dropped off and this and that. As much as it's maybe not perfect, it's definitely more reliable, and there's not a lot of times that you're saying I can't hear you. So, yeah. Yeah.
Tommy Dog wants to say hello.
Oh, hi, Tommy. Hi, Eagle.
She just licked you off.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, I held the phone down and she just licked it off.
Oh, Tommy, hi. I was so lucky to meet her and you and everyone. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
So this one chopped wood and did other things
Nice.
for the dwelling for the wall. So cool. Am I the only one? Bird and I and Iris, Amari, we're seeing all these bees. They're looking for flowers. Anyone else?
Wow. That's good.
I'm not seeing any bees up here, brother.
Yeah, it's a bit cold there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing bees and
Uh-oh.
I suppose it's still warm in the daytime on Arizona rather than a lot of wintry areas. I guess it gets cold at night, but it's warm in the day, I think, isn't it, still around that area? So the bees are probably still doing their work. But I think we just lost Eagle there.
Something happened.
He'll be back.
Oh, hey, Wonder 22.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Hey.
Do you want to tell us a story?
Yeah, no problem.
Yay.
A quick feather brush story. I was biking home a couple weeks ago and I saw a object lying on the street corner close to a car near a manhole sewer. It's New York City, so we have a lot of those. And saw a wallet chilling on the ground. So I picked it up and checked the IDs of who it was. And right away I noticed it was a New York City police officers. So I wanted to get it right away out of my hands. And the person had no contact info in the wallet, left a note on the car that it looked like it was near to say, this is my number, call if you lost a wallet. No phone rang. So I saw the first policy enforcer I saw on the street and said, hey, I found this wallet. It's cops. Can you get it to him at his precinct? And they were like, yeah, no problem. Why do you have it? And I was like, I just found it on the street a minute ago riding home on my bike. So they were kind of all, there was a few of them, and they rolled over to me a little bit like, well, was there anything in it? And I'm like, everything's right there. And the next thing that happened was they go, well, let's write down your name so we can tell the officer who returned it and that stuff like that. I'm like, I don't use legal names, and it's illegal to use a legal name. That's a legal fact. And they kind of sprang up and go, what? It's illegal to use a legal name? And yeah, I said, let me ask you a question. Is it illegal? Are you a criminal if you break the law? logical question, first year law school. And the cop was like, yeah. And I go, yeah, logic. It's simple. And they instantly knew that nothing was taken from the wallet. And they were just like, cool, nice to see you go on your way. And I was like, see ya. And standing in truth, man, that's all you got to do. Just stand in truth.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice one. Yeah, it's good to tell them. It's good that you can, make them aware of something, maybe even start thinking about something. So,
Yeah, and hand out BC crosses, hand out biffs, get the word out.
Sure, absolutely. Awesome. Nice job. Yeah, that's a great story. Well done. Thanks. Great voice too, by the way, you have.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
And you make clothing, don't you? Or you sell?
Well, the crocheting stuff, similar, more like some men's clothing in the past. No, I'm not really making clothes. More like pulling labels off clothes.
Okay, well, hey, yeah.
I like to do that, take off all the labels off any clothes. And for anyone out there, if you're new to this stuff, check out Shaki Vither's videos, Point of Clarification. All his YouTube videos are great.
We love Shock. Yeah. So we should. Do you have? You did post a link. When we can put that in the Skype room.
Thank you. Yes.
Do you have any other words of wisdom, Wonder?
So, well, I guess if that's everyone's sharings for today,
It's that time, isn't it?
it's getting there, and I'm kind of quite glad because I'm getting kind of hungry at this point. So,
I will grab that link and I'll put that in the chat.
Great, cool. Oh, lovely. Yes, I see the Shocks video there. So I'll click on that one as well and hope that it
You're muted there.
yeah, I muted so that now the video is going to start up. So hold on, I'm just going to stop it when it comes up, and then I've got it right here. It comes, and I've stopped it. Great. Okay. So without anyone else to jump in with anything else, again, I want to share my appreciation to all of you for being here with us, because without all you guys, we would be probably not bothering to do this. And it's always good to have this platform for those who do want to share, and we appreciate all of you. So thanks for being here.
And thank you so much to you, sister, and to everybody.
And to you.
Yeah, Jolly, thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome, and thank you again for joining us. I really appreciate that, so, and your stories.
Oh, good. And we got a message from Crow that he will have his mic issue straightened out. This is
Great.
Crow from the Ozarks. Yay! Somebody can tell us what it's like in the Ozarks.
Yeah, there we go. That'll be nice. So, yeah, I think it's beautiful there. I've heard that actually recently, that it's beautiful in the Ozarks. So, yeah, that's very cool. So I will find one more little tune to share with you all, and we will boogie our way out again. And lots of love to everyone, and more and more appreciation to all, the one and all, and beautifulness of. We will continue to appreciate everyone now and always. Let's do the We Are One song. Let's see how that comes out like. Let's get rid of that. Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely jubblies.